Shows how much I love you. I did all that work. It took hours and hours and hours. Are you hungry? So I think it was in a Wheezy Waiter video not that long ago. It had to be not that long ago because they were talking about tour, because they're on tour because of Awesome right now, and Craig asked Hank Green what he thinks about performing, like being a rock star or whatever. I mean, he's not really, but and he said, I don't remember. He's like, I don't remember because I have stage amnesia. I looked that up and I don't think it's actually a thing, at least if it is, it's not called that. But it made me really happy because I have that. And I thought it was just me being me. But there are other people in this world who perform, or they get up on stage and do something, or they're talking in front of a camera, and they do that and it's fine. But then once they're done, they don't remember what they said or what they did, and that's exactly what happens to me. I like record something or I'll give a presentation and someone will ask me like, oh, how do you think I went? And I'm like, I don't know because I don't remember. The only way I ever remember anything that I say when I'm on camera is when I go back and edit, and sometimes I'm listening to myself and I'm like, where did that phrase even come from? I don't even know half the time. But it made me feel good to know that I'm not the only one who performs and gets into this bubble and then the performance is over and it's just all in the past. So I worked in the garden today. I actually woke up at 5. I didn't intend to do that, but I did it. Sometimes my brain and my body are just like, wake up, it's time to start the day, and so I did. And I got a whole bunch of stuff in, and then it was 8 o'clock and I was like, what do I do now? I still have a ton of work to do. I'm really behind on some work, and so I have to finish this and then write for the rest of the day, because I have deadlines, because that's what happens when you're a freelance writer. You kind of set your own deadlines sometimes, and then other times you're given deadlines, and then sometimes, like in this case, a client will say, when can you have this done by? And I'll say, this day. And they say, okay, and they kind of hold you to that. So you still have to do it on time. I'm kind of struggling right now. It's going to be fine though. I'm not that worried. I just have to write a lot. Speaking of writing, I wrote a book. It's short. It's not that in-depth, or not as in-depth as it could be, but I wrote it. It's 20 something pages. You can pre-order it. It'll be available in a few weeks and I'm really excited. I've never really, like, I write blog posts that are kind of like what this book ended up being. I guess you could say the book is kind of like a very long blog post. The kind of post that I typically write on my website, and it's kind of all broken up into sections, but it's in one thing and it has a theme, and it's about imaginary people, otherwise known as characters, and I just have this theory that our characters have more influence over the stories that we write than we like to think they do. So I really wanted to write about that, and I did, and I'm so excited, and I hope you really like it too. So you can get that. I'll put a link down here. It was actually a goal of mine to write an ebook this year. I didn't have a goal of how long I wanted it to be or what I wanted it to be about, but I wanted to write one, and I wanted it to be about some kind of creative writing and idea type thing, because that's what I really enjoy writing about. I have a list of like big goals I want to accomplish, and then I have a smaller list of goals that I give myself every year. And this year I wanted to write an ebook. I wanted to finish the book that I'm still writing. I'm not quite finished yet, but July 31st is the deadline that I gave myself. I also want to do things like finish school, and those are the types of goals that are on both my big list and my smaller list. I'll still be done. I won't have to do any more work, and I can focus on other projects like writing more ebooks and books in general, and creating more content like this, but much better because I don't have a lot of time to do these. I just like it. so I do it anyway, even though it's not the best it could be. That's fine, because nobody's watching anyway, so I can sit here and I can talk about what I want to talk about, and it's fine. There's no pressure to be awesome. I just am awesome in the way that I am at this level of only having the camera on my iPhone. So pre-order your copy of my book. In the description I'll put a link to the excerpt that I read out loud on my podcast. I did an entire episode where I just introduced you to, at the time, this idea for a book that I had in the first couple sections that I'd written. So you can check that out, and if you like it and you want to hear more, then you can go over to Amazon and pre-order that, and hopefully you'll really like it. I like it. That's the important thing, is that I'm proud of it. I'm excited for other people to see it, but if no one gets it or no one really likes it, that's not that important to me. I'm not doing it to make money either. I'm proud of it. I can't wait to share it, but that's all I care about, the fact that I did something awesome and it's out there, and that was my goal, and I'm going to achieve that. And that's what you really need to focus on when you're setting goals, is don't forget to do stuff that you just want to do because you want to do it. Like, I didn't write a book so I could make a whole bunch of money. I did it because I was really excited to, and I had this idea, and I had time, and I wrote it, and it made me happy. And that's really important to me right now, is that I'm doing things that make me happy and creating things that make me feel really good. And that's all. I'll have something else for you next week. Hopefully something a little bit more interesting.